today's Youth Enquiry Podcast episode. I'm Emily, and we're delighted to be joined by
Thistle,
who is part of the
Chameleons Group.
Welcome along.
Thistle.
We're happy to have you here. To get us started, we have a question to get you thinking. If you can be good at anything in the world, what would you be?
If I could be good at anything, I think it'd have to be playing an instrument, because I really enjoy singing, but I don't think I can quite put more together if I couldn't exactly play a guitar or something. It's just because music's always been a passion of mine, but I've never been able to actually play it. I've only ever been able to sing along to it so far.
Like having the passive but not the talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I would do like stuff with my hands. Like, I'm really interested in trade because it's physical and you also get the good bits like math in it. For some young people or anyone listening, you might be wondering what the
Chameleons Group
is. Can you tell us more about that, please?
Well, I've had to think a bit about this one, and I've kind of boiled it down to 4 main points about what the Chameleons is about. We're about community and how we can improve on what we're seeing around ourselves and how we can make some people's lives maybe a bit better. We're about change, like for example in schools we're about helping changing policies to be more inclusive and more LGBT friendly primarily. We're about feeling heard. We give young people a way to project their voice out a bit more than they usually would be able to when it comes to some issues they're facing. And we're about being youth-led. Like, there is obviously youth workers there who are the ones who help us get all this out there and get like the admin stuff done, get like in contact with the council, but it's the young people themselves who all are coming up with the ideas and how we should probably execute on this.
Yeah, like to try and make change to the government and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's more
like in a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's more to make changes to like certain policies, like in maybe like government buildings or like schools and that, when it comes to like changing names, pronouns, or like based on the different issues some young folk in the LGBT community may face.
That's a good answer. How does a young person get involved with the Chameleons Group?
Well, the only way that we've discussed about is talking with either a youth worker at Youth Enquiry Service or wherever your local youth centre may be located, or if you come to LGBT Youth Scotland, and they'll be able to register you there and then for it. Like just today we had quite a few folk come in and register today and join up with the group to help make the changes that they're needing.
Yeah, because change needs to happen sometimes.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how some places are still stuck as they were however long ago, but we're slowly making progress to help people feel more comfortable being themselves and truly themselves.
Or mostly parents and grandparents sometimes, because they have like a one-stuck mind or stubborn.
Yeah, I think changing the minds of parents is sometimes the hardest bit about it, but I'm sure we've gotten through to quite a few here and there.
What events have you got planned in the past?
Well, our general routine follows a little bit of a schedule. There's 4 meetings every year. One of those is usually a bit more of a fun session which still has our core principles behind it. For example, we've planned residentials before and used whatever free time we've had on different activities to help folk more understand like the issues and that they could come across. We've also done pop-ups mainly over summer holidays and at some prior Youth Beats events to kind of help promote the service and trying to get folk in and out, maybe getting them learning about what they're needing, like if they're needing anything from it. And we've also planned and attended quite a few social action days. Some of the biggest in recent memory have been Mardi Gras Pride up in Glasgow, as just big marches and that going about. When it comes to Pride, we've attended quite a few, and I'm pretty sure there's also been a panel here and there at some of them as well.
That sounds interesting. What made you interested in the group?
I think really having that kind of voice. I've always been a bit more of a shy kid, which is ironic because I'm coming onto a podcast. But as a kid, I never really spoke up for myself. Whenever anything happened, I just kind of took it. But now I've more realised that I need to stand up for myself and for people like me who maybe don't exactly have a place in where they're living. And I think I can be a great voice to try and help them, because even if it's not just me facing this issue, having someone there to talk about it can inspire more people to get up and talk about what they're facing in that term of issue. I think it's also about probably inspiring other people to come along and join, to also try and get more views on like what needs to be fixed.
Especially like from like schools and stuff, because there's always that toxic atmosphere by certain groups of people.
Yeah.
Or like very bad, or like people that don't have your best interest in mind.
Yeah. School was I think schools is probably the main place I want to particularly focus. If I had a choice, I would focus on schools, because that's where a majority of like the stuff I myself am focusing on is happening. But we are still getting more views and values on everything that's happening.
Yeah, because school's not the best place to kind of come out and be loud.
Yeah.
About certain stuff, because there's always that judgmental bit like in the air and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you think this group has helped you express yourself?
I think it's given me a really good place to be more myself and to express my concerns with like what's coming up in my life. I think it's also really given me a place to learn a lot more than I would have on my own about how different things work when it comes to actually getting the message out, as well as actually obtaining the help that I may need. From a gender identity clinic, for example, I learned way more about the wait times and like what kind of like the procedures are like up there, because I've been coming to this and I've been asking my questions that I've needed answered.
Who came up with the group logo?
Well, it was developed. I'm pretty sure it was developed as a part of a group of logos. The way they usually do it is, if they're renaming something over there, or if they're giving something a logo, they'll get submissions from the community, from like the young people who are attending and making it up, and then they'll hold a vote on it. And I don't remember this vote, but I remember the vote for an online group. It was between three names. One of them was Gaelic bread, which ended up winning. But yeah, no, that's kind of how it was designed by a young person and ended up passing all the others by other young people going and voting for it. And I think it's a really cute logo as well.
That's nice that everyone got to like a chance to say.
Yeah, I think it's a good system.
And this like the inspiration and the group kind of making it.
Yeah, I think it's a good system having like the young people. As I said earlier, it's young person led, but also having it young person branded, named, and this and that. I think also works out so well for it.
The final question: what do you love most about the group, and how do you have any advice for young people that want to change someone in their community?
I think the thing I love most about the group is just finding out the different views that different people have on the same issue. Like there's like one issue, and like everyone in the group could have a different view and value, and we have to figure out how to like combine all of those into one big solution that we can cover as much ground as possible with. As for advice I'd give, I would say to those of you out there, your voice is heard. Even if it isn't that much, you are definitely being heard. And the fact that even one person has the confidence to speak up about an issue gives other people facing those issues the confidence to speak up. And eventually one voice turns to a chorus and a chorus turns to a choir. So try to build up as much as you can. Try and contact people who can help you. And try to be safe with it, please. That's all my views on that.
We appreciate speaking with you today. Thanks for coming on our podcast, and make sure you follow us on all socials. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for having me.
Follow us to keep up with more podcasts.